Glockchain podcast. What up, baby?
Hello.
Black. Damn.
You want some energy? You want the
Give me that shit, Rory. Turn up, baby.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, no, I'm super excited though, man. This is a fucking this is some monumental shit happening here on the Glockchain. We got our first guest ever.
Yes.
Oh, I did not realize I was first.
You're like, I wouldn't have done it.
No, I'm cool. I'm
You know?
I'm up for this, yeah.
Yeah. As usual, I got the motherfucking Void on the desk with me. What up, Void?
What up, dude? How are you?
Man, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling the energy, man. The energy is high, man. You know what I'm saying? Peace and love to everybody who's tuning in to the Glockchain. You know how we do it. Shit, but we're on some international shit right now too, fellas.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Streaming right from the UK. That's me,
Right.
BITWAX, or as I'm more commonly known, Rory. But BITWAX is the record label that I run.
BITWAX from the UK. That's what's up. My man Void is in Mexico too.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's what I'm saying.
Here we all over this place.
Dude, we're up in this bitch. Yeah. So BITWAX, man, welcome to the show, man. We really appreciate you coming on and spending a little bit of time with us to share your vision with us, man. Share your energy, share your vibes, man. Because I think I tapped into you guys like, I don't know, a couple months ago on Twitter when I was jumping into that NFT space, man. You were one of the first crews that I bumped into, man. And like, you've been putting me up on so much game. To have you on the show right now, it's like, oh shit, this shit is happening, man. So appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I think I did a video covering, was it Arpeggi Labs, the Arpeggi studio where you make the music in browser, and I think that's where you found me from, was it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you just reached out to me, we just started talking, and then I'm friends with a guy called Joshua, and I've seen you two have been connecting loads, and he's a lovely lad. He's a really nice lad, him, and it's kind of cool to sit back and see, you know, I've met Joshua, I've met you, and I'm connecting the two of you together, and then you two are vibing, and I'm pretty sure if you ask Joshua nicely, he'll come on the Glockchain as well, and you know, he'll give you a pretty good episode too. Yeah, but it's nice just to fucking connect and share all this like shit with people and just hang out. Yeah.
I'll try to ask him nicely, man. I sometimes come across as asking not nicely, but I swear everything I do is with the best intentions, man.
Yeah,
I'm just churned up, man.
Yeah, when I first came across you, I seen some of your videos out there. I was like, whoa, this guy's like turned up, you know, for lack of a better word. Like, this guy's crazy, but you're actually a really nice guy and probably like really down to earth. And yeah, but like honestly, when I first seen you, I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy is like, he's going for it. Full of beans.
Well, you know what, man? This space, I feel like it has given me a lane to kind of open up, man, and be a little bit more myself than maybe I am in you know, my IRL. You know what I'm saying? And not, but you know, that's what I'm saying, man. And I think that has to do with kind of the decentralization of just crypto. You know what I'm saying? And that whole vibe, which is just kind of just like, man, just do you and try to figure that out, man.
Yeah, because in the long run, if you're putting on a facade or you're creating some kind of showmanship act, you know, it's not going to last. And just you being you, that's what people will come to appreciate. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, try dropping your kids off at school and just hella turned up, man. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? They're just like, yo, call the police up on this guy.
What the fuck?
Oh shit, though.
Did you subscribe to our newsletter the other day? And then you left Yeah, I thought it was you because I seen Mario, and then you left a note saying, "Give me BITWAX or give me death." I was like, "What the fuck?"
That sounds like him.
Yeah. I've actually changed the newsletter since then because
oh shit!
Well, no, because I didn't realize.
No, we can't send it to
yeah. And I've contacted the police. No. But no, like I didn't realize that when you signed up on our website that you could leave like a note and a message to us, and then I got this message through saying a user has left some feedback, and I clicked on it and it said, "Give me BITWAX or give me death," and I was like, "What is this?" Yeah. it caught me off guard.
Oh shit. Well, you know what? We love our liberty over here, man, and that's an ode to all the people who have put it down in that aspect of things, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Void, man, what's up, bro? What's
Man,
up with you?
I want to hear more about BitWax. I mean, I've just done the just like gone to the website and lurked on your Twitter, but that's about it, man. Can you tell us about it? And specifically, I want to know about your vinyl releases, but that can come later if you want.
So the vinyl is actually the other way around. So we started off initially, so we started off initially as a vinyl distributor. So we were buying in records from all over Europe, France, Germany, Belgium, London, wherever we could find them from. And then we were being the one-stop shop where people would come to us and they would buy the vinyls that we were supplying. And the business was initially set up to sell vinyl records for cryptocurrency. Now, we also still accepted fiat currency. And we didn't really make many sales with crypto, so we weren't really sure what was going wrong there. But it probably had a lot to do with transaction fees. And anyways, fast forward to the late 2020s and early 2021 when the NFTs really started to catch wind. And I was just like, what are we doing? Like, we can really make something here. So we transitioned the label, the distribution business, and we've stopped doing the vinyls, and we're going fully transitioned into now. We're going to be making NFT projects for artists who either don't understand, how NFTs or blockchain technology work, because it is very fucking confusing once you get involved in this world. And then on top of that as well, it is very expensive. I mean, we're fortunate enough to where we have some funds set aside for this kind of stuff. So yeah, eventually we will be getting around to building full albums and EPs and all kinds of mad shit. So that's going to be.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's going to be the second part of our project is the NFT project, building the albums and EPs and like very big drops. The first part, which should be coming out in the next, I'm going to say 2 months, but it's impossible to predict because the elements that are going into this keep changing. Okay. So initially, it was just going to be a drop on OpenSea, and then there'll be some unlockable content inside of that. But as we're going deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole, we're now coding our own smart contract. Yep. We're giving our full website a facelift, and we're going to get some developers in to do some coding on the back end of that. Nice. And then we're also going to be doing like essentially gated NFT drops. So we're going to have maybe like 20 or so artists contribute music and samples for a sample pack. And the only way to access this music and samples is going to be through our website. And when you go to the website, you'll be hit with a gated wall saying, you're not allowed in.
Like, but once you MetaMask kind of thing, or
that's what it's going to be. So once you connected your MetaMask, the wall will lift, and behind that will be all this unreleased music, bootlegs, unofficial remixes, samples, and just maybe some YouTube tutorials, some VSTs, just all kinds of shit that you could want to do with producing music and being a DJ. So that's going to be called Backstage on our website, and the first NFT is going to be called Access All Areas. So it all fits in with the music theme. But yeah, so that's going to be about possibly 2 months away. It's honestly, man, I don't know if you've ever tried to build. Yeah, I don't know if you've tried to build an NFT project, but you come out with one idea, and then the next day it changes, and then it gets bigger. Oh, we should add this. Oh, and we can also do this function, and we can add this. Oh, but we need to build the smart contract. It's just like it just keeps going and going and going. But yeah, I don't think we should rush any of this, and I think we're going about it the right way at the same time.
That's awesome, man.
That's good to know. That sounds a lot like the conversations that me and Tim have with each other, where we're trying to get our little project up, and it's like we're moving one way, we zig, and then we zag, we zig back, and we zag. But I think we're really continuously just keeping the energy flowing into it, and it just feels like it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, man. So I saw your guys' all access NFT. Maybe you had just updated it or something. I saw that you had actually you had dissed the 404 and put the 808 on top of that, man.
Yeah. So instead of going on the website at the minute, because we're still building that, instead of it saying 404 page not found, it says 808 page not found. So
nice.
Awesome. Shout out to the 808.
Yeah, and can I just say a shout out to 12:08 a.m. He's our graphic designer. We did have a different graphic designer to begin with, but as the project keeps changing and the visual design keeps changing, We've then got 1208 on board, and he is gonna fucking smash this. Yeah,
cool. So all that, do you think that the NFT is going to bring back the bootleg and those the kind of the samples that were maybe too expensive to get because of copyrights and all that?
Yeah, I don't think that ever went away. I just think being able to download that has become more difficult because, SoundCloud, YouTube, and any of these streaming platforms, the second they hear a sample which shouldn't be there, boop, take down, it's gone. You can't put that out anywhere, and you can't distribute that. So, I mean, this isn't specifically aimed at just bootlegs, but part of it, maybe it could be the new form of distributing bootlegs. But yeah, I just think with the current way that things are run on the internet is it's too easy for things to get taken down with copyright. So this could be, is it a legal way to get around it? Is it illegal? I mean, it's something we do need to discuss with maybe some lawyers and solicitors because, there is a kind of a legal loophole where we're selling a membership token to get access to folders, but we're not actually selling the music or the copyrights to that music. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah. So I DJ for a long time.
All right, cool.
And so like maybe step through how that would look like. Would I be there on my laptop at a club or wherever, and I would actually go behind the gates, and get and stream the song, or is it that far along, or what? Or would I download it, but I have to have access to download it?
So I will share. It's kind of like alpha here, but it's also kind of just hypotheticals. Yeah, he's like that Mario likes that. So this was an idea we had, and I'll be honest, I'm only sharing this because I actually don't think this is possible. It's definitely not possible in the current market.
Right.
But you said there, would I have to be on the website and have this streamed as I DJ'd? Just as you would, let's say, you've just picked up this exclusive vinyl. I know this is a Prince 1999,
nice.
but let's say you pick this up. There's only 100 copies of this.
Go.
The current way that our distribution network works is you have to have the NFT and then you download the audio file. But then from there, people can still distribute that. People can still upload that themselves and pass it on. But as the current market goes, that's the best way we're going to be able to do this. But what I'm saying for the alpha is eventually we want to have it available so you get a USB stick, and encoded inside of that USB stick is the NFT. So we haven't really figured it out because it's so impossible. But the only way to play that song is to have the NFT stick with the private key on, and but it wouldn't be compatible with any DJ decks or any USB ports. But the idea is there. So such as you have to have the physical vinyl record, you would have to have the USB with the NFT inside of it. Yeah, that's an idea.
A way to, like a physical way to unlock or access, your NFTs basically. Yeah,
that's a future plan, but it's a future plan that I don't see happening.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah. No, it's a great idea.
Well, yeah, thanks for my new idea.
Yeah, just go steal that. Yeah. Well, here's another idea I've just covered in a YouTube video. I was breaking down the platform Mint Songs. Are you two familiar with Mint Songs? Yeah, and I was talking with I'm not sure how you pronounce her name, Zedra. It's Xedra. So I think it's Zedra on Twitter last night, and we were just having a bit of back and forth about the secondary market for music NFTs. I don't know if you guys have tried to buy NFTs on the secondary market for music, but it is flat. It is really shit.
Actually, let me quote you real quick. I got your Twitter. It says, after just visiting the OpenSea page specifically for music, it is an absolute shambles, really. No wonder the secondary market is so flat.
Yeah. And I just I went a little bit deep. I was doing a video cover of Mint Songs. And this is no diss to Mint Songs, but hopefully it is kind of a diss. It's something they need to fix. Is once the record sells out on their website, there's no easy link to a secondary market to see where to buy these. And it's not just Mint Songs. This is all over the place. Yeah. There's no central hub or central website which specifically deals in listing, NFTs to buy on the secondary market. Have you ever used Discogs before?
Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Discogs is just specifically built for buying vinyl on the secondary market. There's a gap in the market for something like this with NFTs where somebody lists, they collect, I don't know, APIs or whatever it would be. They collect all the information of these NFTs and build a website just for that. If you guys want to build that as well, so you got your USB and now you've got your own secondary market site.
Multiple ideas that I came up with.
Keep talking.
Yeah. Void, you're going to be retired soon.
Funny, I was
Void.
just thinking that shit, man.
Yeah.
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
No, I like that. That's a good idea. And I've noticed that I'm, more. Well, I think we're both kind of more in the Solana world with NFTs, and it's definitely the same way with music NFTs. I mean, technically, yeah, you can go and buy somebody's music on the secondary, but there's no real action or like reason to do that anymore. So that's kind of why I was curious, like, how do you stop the distribution, or at least how do you control it a little better? Because we're kind of getting into the same problem that Steve Jobs tried to solve. Like, now people can just get free music. You can download music, and so how do you get people to actually pay for music and like willingly pay for music, gladly paying for it? So yeah, that's just,
easy. You charge them $300 for an NFT, man.
Right, for a track.
And then include the word utility. No, I genuinely believe that the way music NFTs should be viewed, and I keep saying this over and over again, but I think it's a pretty smart way to look at them in the current market. I think eventually NFTs will start to overtake and adopt most of the Web2 systems, but as a current market fit, we should view NFTs as vinyl records, where streaming platforms and free downloads and Spotify, they're not going away, and we're not replacing them just yet. So an NFT should be viewed as a vinyl, where you get a really cool vinyl sleeve artwork. You get vinyls with splatter effects, or you get limited edition pressings. You get included with free T-shirts. You get signed merchandise.
Like
it's just a different form of displaying the media of music. It's not, you're saying, how do we control the distribution of music? It's if people are going to download it for free or torrent it, it's that's always going to happen. So what we need to create is something more than that, where it's a full project with a visual artist. With cool free benefits and maybe some kind of membership included with that. It's the music's always going to get streamed and pirated, but the visuals and everything else, I think that's where we take this differently and make it a full like collaborative art projects with NFTs.
That's the whole. I mean, I collect vinyl too, and
nice.
The whole reason is because it's an experience, and like it feels like a collectible. It doesn't have. You don't necessarily have to hold the NFT in your hand for you to like enjoy the artwork while you're listening to it. Which is like a common thing you do with records. You kind of look at the liner notes and shit with it, while you're listening to it. But yeah, that's a good idea. Like,
how do you go? Oh, go ahead, Roy.
No, I was just going to say, we are going to be selling the NFTs. It's an idea we're toying back and forth. We're not kind of sure where to go with it, but we are actually thinking about distributing the music for free on, streaming platforms, because we don't want to completely disregard our Web2 fans and Web2 friends.
Yep.
So it's an idea we're toying with. So you're saying about, what if someone, steals the music and pirates it? Well, what if we just did that for them? What if we just put the music out for free anyways, and then also had the option to purchase the NFTs with the visuals and all the cool benefits?
No, that's a great analogy to just liken it to vinyl, because there's a big vinyl market still, obviously, and like there are people that actually want to collect things and not just stream it off their favorite platform or whatever.
It's like vinyl though, with the fan club membership, right? Because if you buy a vinyl from me, like I may not know who you are, but if you buy the NFT, like I can always airdrop you some new shit, send you a love letter or whatever it is, man, and start to get that connection really personal.
Yeah, and if you purchased, let's say I was Carl Cox and the year's 1995, and you've purchased my vinyl as an early DJ producer, and guess what? 25 years from now, I'm still Carl Cox, and Carl Cox is one of the biggest DJs in the world, and his early vinyls might be selling for over $1,000.
Sure.
Well, Carl Cox doesn't see a penny of the secondary market sales on them earlier vinyls. So NFTs also for the musician as well, helps them create a a more steady stream of revenue from all the works.
Yeah, that's what's
I
up.
love that.
Now, how do you guys go about finding new artists to get onto the BitWax label?
So at the minute, we just kind of it's more like recommendations. So we either we're on SoundCloud or Spotify, and we're always digging through artists and musicians. But I think pretty much every artist who's working with us at the minute either lives locally to us, or we've been recommended them as a friend of a friend, or we've met them in a Discord, or maybe met them in a WhatsApp group chat. It's all really small knit, a little knit community for now. We do have a demos email open, but we have like 300 Twitter followers, 1,000 Instagram followers. We're not the biggest, so we're not getting bombarded with musicians and songs and soundtracks. But yeah, at the minute, it's just kind of like, I think it's the best way to go about it as well, being like a friend of a friend, because with our project, evolving by the day and changing daily, and things are getting delayed and delayed and delayed, it's quite helpful to have people on board who actually know who we are, who are like friends of friends, because then they're a bit more open and laid back with how the process is going. Because, a standard record label, you send them the music, they send you back a contract, and 3 months later, your song's out. Whereas with us, we give them a date, and that date changes. We give them the artwork, or the artwork's changing. No, it's quite handy at the minute, just being so small. But eventually, we're hoping that we'll discover new music. We'll maybe even have our own A&R guys. So this is something which another idea I've toyed with is if there's a way to create some form of smart contract where we deploy, I don't even know how you would do it, but it's an idea I've had where instead of us employing an A&R guy to come onto our record label, we have one person who goes and finds music. Essentially, it would be like a bug bounty where we would put out, if you can come to us with a musician and you can prove that you've submitted this musician to us, once we actually list their NFTs for sale, you will get, let's say 2% of all secondary market sales of their music. So it's essentially a way of creating A&R, like we could have infinite A&R people for the label who like, yeah, it's an idea I haven't seen anyone else discuss.
Oh, that's dope. That's
That's
dope. That's dope. I think that, like, as I see people selling their videos, like new NFT videos, and I was like, man, like I saw one guy selling it for like 5 ETH, and I was like, man, that's pretty steep. Like, what would somebody do with that video? I mean, that's a big investment. Is somebody going to try to monetize that purchase at all? And I was thinking, well, if you had a YouTube channel, or you had something where you could, if you had to own the rights to this video now, and then you can go and put it up on a YouTube channel, and then all the streams, all that stuff starts coming to you. It's like, okay, well, I could see people starting to do that. You might collect 10 videos of some tight music, and then people, I see that as part of the decentralization of the power, as people starting to become their own A&Rs, little tiny A&Rs out there finding everybody, or their own little streaming services themselves when they find something that they think is valuable, and then they can go out and market it, and then maybe even collect some money off of it.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
The ideas and possibilities in this world, like in the NFT world or the crypto world, is just fucking endless. And it's one of the benefits, like a gift and a curse. So with there being so little regulation on this space, the platform for innovation is, the growth and innovation is just absolutely phenomenal. 1 week is 1 month, and 1 month is 1 year. Shit just changes and things grow and appear out of nowhere so fast. That is the gift. But without regulation as well, there's a lot of fucking scams as well. And it's such a treacherous and scary yet exciting industry to be around in. You guys say you're big on Solana. What's the music? What's the music scene like over there? Because I'll be honest, I don't label myself as an ETH maxi, but I haven't ventured outside of Ethereum much, to be honest.
That's cool. You should tell them about the few things you found, like Dill, right?
Crypto Dill.
Yeah,
Crypto Rich.
Crypto Rich. Yep. Yeah. One of the more interesting things that we have our personal opinions about, but is Pixel Bands, which they basically had a bunch of musicians submit like riffs, basically. So a drummer would do a 4-bar loop or whatever, and then a guitarist would submit it. And then they figure out a way to basically all the NFTs that you buy. So you just buy, like, I'm going to buy this guitarist, and then I'm going to buy this bassist, and I'm going to buy this drummer. And then the idea is you put together a band that can make a song, like a beat, out of that. So that is a really interesting thing. And they already have, on their roadmap, like their app, you're supposed to be able to go and actually, if you have 20 of those NFTs, you can just make your own band in a few minutes and then spit out, a new beat out of that. That's probably the most interesting recent thing. What
was that one called? I'm going to make a note of that in my phone.
Pixel bands.
Pixel bands. I like the idea of that. Where
it is cool.
Some people, everyone finds music subjective, and I don't like this song. I wish the lead singer sang this line differently. Right. I wish the guitar didn't do that. But now you can fucking build it yourself.
Swap it out.
Yeah,
fire the lead singer.
Pixel bands, and is that on Solana? Did you say Solana? Yeah. Okay, I've not heard of that. No.
Yeah, that's probably the most interesting thing. What you got? There was something else that you were into, Mario. I can't remember what it was.
Oh shit! I don't know, man. It doesn't ring a bell. I think that was the fucking rave pigs, man. That shit had me turned up.
Yeah, Sam. Yeah, I picked up a couple of rave pigs, and now I'm like, should I mention it?
I saw a tweet from them about, like, don't be worried about the floor price, and so that probably meant that the floor price was down.
We should be worried about the floor price. I'm going to go on OpenSea now and see what they're at. But last time I checked, they're like 0.02 or something.
Well, it's an interesting thing, because it's like we're always talking about, like, how to grade an NFT, right? And we're like, okay, so there's art, then there's the utility in it. Then there's like the community involved in the NFT, and then so it's like, how do you feel about that, Rory? Like, when you're looking at an NFT, do you have any metrics that you would if you're personally going to buy one? Like, how does that spectrum look for you before you do that?
First and foremost, the visuals, does it look visually pleasing? And I will hold my hands up. I was basically buying rave pigs as a gambler. Essentially, I was buying them to flip on for a profit, but they never got to the price point where I would sell on. So now I'm just left bag holding. But for me, when collecting NFTs, the few major things which stand out for me would be brand. Is this just a pop-up thing out of nowhere, which is, possibly just a fucking cash grab, or is it a well-established, DJ producer such as Boys Noise, who are entering the space, creating a very cool NFT project, which they did, where you can own, when you purchase the NFT, you get the stems, So a couple of things what I'm mentioning there is, the NFT comes with utility. Now the visuals on the rave pigs was like a bit shit, I'll be honest, but it's one of the things.
Those fucking pacifiers, the fucking seashell, fucking bikini.
The traits were very rave,
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the visuals, but
that's a pig after my heart right there, man.
Yeah, it was the things that came with it. It was, the brand behind it, Boys Noise. They've been around since the 90s or early 2000s. The music, I was listening to the examples before you minted what you could get, and I was like, shit, like, this sounds really good. Mm-hmm. And then I seen that you then own all the rights to the music. I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. And they're going to do some remix competitions coming up. So a couple of things that stood out for me in that particular project and that I look for, like I say, is like the brand, what the NFT comes with, and it would be the visuals, but that one didn't have the visuals. But
yeah.
Maybe that's why it slowed down.
A big thing we talk about is doxing, and I think that kind of ties into the scam element of things. It's like, that's why I appreciate you coming on here, man. And I really think that as the NFTs find their ground and everything kind of mellows out, that this is going to be the norm. That, like, having an avatar as your main source of identity. I can't see that really having legs in a in a kind of a business world, or you know what I'm saying, where people are going to be continually handing over their money to an ape and just hoping that they somehow get a return on their investment. And so shout out to you for stepping up, man, and showing that beautiful face of yours, man.
Cheers, mate. But I come into this with a different approach. Honestly,
Okay.
I would have taken this project fully anonymously if I could have done. Because I've been in crypto since like 2017, so I've been around a while, and I've grew up, with first with ICOs and then IDOs and then DeFi, and throughout that whole era, the whole idea was to remain anonymous and just be a random Twitter user with some avatar. And then now NFTs have came around, the tables have turned, and basically the crypto community is split into two, where you now have the DeFi and finance, crypto community, and then the NFT and collectibles community. And in the NFT space, I do completely agree with you. Yes, that like in the long run, I do think a lot of these projects to succeed will need to be a fully doxed team. But I don't think that's essential. I don't think it is. But if you want to go mainstream, yes. But if you're going to make some kind of hardcore group with like a cult community, I don't think they're going to give a fuck if you're an ape or a turd or whatever, rave pig, whatever it might be. I don't know.
A rave turd.
A rave turd, yeah.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
That's that grimy shit right there, man. Hey, so I got another question for you here, man, because we're talking about the roadmap and twisting and turning, man. How do you decide when something isn't gonna work? Like you're like, oh shit, that was a bad idea, and then like, does that happen to you? And like, how do you keep from getting you down if that does happen, man? And just saying, okay, let's get back to the drawing board and keep pushing forward, man.
That's it's a very well timed question, that, and I don't know how you've managed to do that. But yesterday I was in like a very fucking low way, a very low way. So I reached out. So I live in like a very small county, and I reached out to every music producer in the local area, which was maybe 35 at most. Sent them all a message. I made a full PDF document. I worked with essentially like a guy who does press releases, and we wrote a script, and it was very like formal back and forth. And anyway, so these guys, I have the mobile numbers, and I've got them on Facebook, and I dropped them. It wasn't just like a shill out of nowhere. I dropped them a message, and I explained like in very short what was going on. I included the PDF, and then I set up a Facebook group to try and get all the local music producers together. And then my idea was like, right, I'll get all the local guys together. We'll make a fucking local buzz with all these NFTs. We'll get them on the record label. This is going to like revolutionize and put Cumbria on the map. So where I live, it's called Cumbria in the United Kingdom. And like put Cumbria on the map, and then the project will have its origins starting from here. And I got all these guys.
Go!
Yeah, let's fucking go. And I put so much fucking work into this, and maybe 10% of them even like everyone read it. Maybe 10% of them got back to me. And out of that 10%, maybe 4 people are actually kind of interested in signing with us. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I was just
put
like,
all this work into it.
Yeah, because it just, I mean, we do have quite a few local guys already signing with us, but I wanted to reach out to all of them. And I for some reason, I had it in my head where all these guys were like, yeah, this BITWAX is a new form record label. Let's get on this. Let's fucking get involved. It's a new way to distribute the music, a new market, a very open mind place where I can just get fucking, seen or found in. And it was a really big slap in the face. And all day yesterday, I didn't leave the house. I was like, fuck, like, what do I do going forward? But I mean, I think it was 2 things. It was a Saturday yesterday. All these guys are DJs, so they're probably out, drinking, partying, or doing something. So I am going to follow them up on Monday with a follow-up message. But apart from that, we'll just keep working with other artists, and we will move over that road bump. So it's just one of them things, like you say. It's what do you do when something you've planned just doesn't go your way? Is have a little bitch and a moan and get upset, but then come, have a sleep on it, get back to the drawing board, and like, right, what's next? How do we move beyond this? Yeah.
Yep.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Well, I asked you that because me and Tim are constantly fighting with each other on fucking how we should go, and he's like, Mario, you're not doing it right. And I'm like, Tim, you're not doing it right. I'm just kidding.
And only
So I
one
think-
person is right.
I think you guys need my business partner who I work with. So I'm 26 myself. He's maybe 38, 39-year-old, somewhere about there. And basically his background is he knows everything there is to know about vinyl records, and he doesn't have a fucking clue about NFTs or cryptocurrencies. So just same as you, we're two of us run a business together, but he lets me do everything I want with the vinyls, so with the NFT side of the business. And any ideas I send to him, he goes, "Yep, sounds good." "Yep, sounds good." So I think you two, one of you needs to split off from the business and hire my guy, because he just says yes to everything.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, Tim, just start saying fucking yes, and we'll be
Yeah.
good, bro.
Be a yes man.
Man.
Tim, what else you got for Rory, man? I don't want to hold him too long. I know he's got another space popping up here, man.
Oh no, my space isn't for. Actually, I haven't had any tea. So,
Yeah,
sorry,
got it,
tea to us is like food.
I heard you.
What do you call that when you have it at the end of the day? Dinner? Do you guys call it dinner?
What?
You call
Joint?
it supper, right?
No, supper comes after tea.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys call it?
Chronic? Weed? I don't know.
Right. Well, I haven't eaten, so I will be cooking my dinner after this tea. Whatever.
Hey, were we on the right time, Rory? Was I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Was I?
No, I didn't know, man, because we got all these different time zones, man, and I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that I was lined up with what we had agreed on, man.
No, it's the right time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man.
If you guys are about later, do you want to come on my Twitter space? Do you want to jump onto that?
Yeah, I plan on jumping on there, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll put you down as a guest speaker. Yeah.
All right, cool. That's what's up. Yeah, you got anything else for our dude here, Rory?
What me?
No.
Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, just briefly or whatever, like how you got into crypto, and you mentioned that you tried to accept payments in crypto for the distribution thing, and I don't care about like what happened to that, but just like what was that idea, just for my own curiosity.
No. Hey, any questions you want to ask me? I am as transparent as I come. A lot of people say to me, like, do you know, earlier on, before I was just giving you all these ideas of like, potentially multi-million-pound business ideas of new platforms.
You were just reminding me of my ideas, yes.
Yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying is I just like to be as transparent as possible. So these kind of questions, they don't bother me.
Cool.
So originally I got into cryptocurrency in August of 2017, and just as many people, just fucking gambling, just trying to make money from money. I started buying Bitcoin, and then I realized Ethereum was more volatile than Bitcoin, so I started buying Ethereum. Then I started buying XRP, and then I started buying all the shit coins down the list.
Nice.
And then after maybe 4 months, I'd made a bunch of money, and it was December of 2017, and I was like, "Holy shit! What the fuck is going on? Like, this is crazy." And and then the market imploded, and I lost all of it, and I was like, "Okay, that was cool." But then it just never went away, and I found a guy called Andreas Antonopoulos. I don't know if you guys are aware of him. Yeah, I think everyone is aware of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started reading his books, and then I just started reading, and I got on crypto Twitter, and I just became a full degenerate, hardcore crypto guy. Yes, that was my story. And actually, in 2018, I actually used to own a watch business as well. I would manufacture watches in China and get them imported into the UK. But that was just basically going to cost me too much money, and like trying to run a fashion brand, which it was, and then Instagram influencers. There was so much complicated shit that went into it. I just called that as it was and was like, right, I've put a bunch of money into this, I've lost it, and let's just call it quits there. And then I was like, right, what can I do for the next business? Because now I've got all these watches, and I'm a watch guy, but now I'm sat here with 20 watches. Like, what the fuck am I going to do with these now? So I was thinking, right, well, the next business should be my interests. What are my interests? Well, I'm a vinyl collector, I'm a music producer, I'm a DJ. Let's start a fucking distribution business selling vinyl. And let's say that the vinyl business was to go tits up, a year ago. Well, I've got a lot of fucking vinyls that I listen to and I like, at retail value as well, because we get discounts with all the distributors. Sure. So it was a no-brainer. So me and my business partner were back and forth with names for a while, and we had all these wacky names, and then we were like, look, let's try and think of the simplest name we can. So BITWAX came out of nowhere. It was like, bit for Bitcoin and then wax for vinyl. It was just fucking ideal.
Nice.
Yeah. So we set that up, obviously accepting fiat because fiat and crypto, because we couldn't just completely disregard the market of fiat currency. That would be idiotic for a business because not only was vinyl records a massive niche, but the bigger niche was cryptocurrencies as well. And then trying to find the niche crossover of people who have cryptocurrency and collect vinyl, it would have been impossible. But
that's Tim.
Right.
Yeah.
We found the guy.
Yeah. Well, again, you probably wouldn't buy from us because then you'd have to pay shipping fees to America plus importation taxes, and it would just be a fucking nightmare. So personally, I feel that a lot of people weren't purchasing with cryptocurrencies for two reasons. One was the most obvious, which was transaction fees.
Yep.
And number two was if you purchase through us with cryptocurrency, well, we can see your cryptocurrency wallet. And guess what? You've just purchased a vinyl record in the real world that's going to ship to your house, to your address. So we know how much money's in your wallet, and we know where you live. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Right.
That's my personal feelings towards why we weren't getting many sales. I mean, that's just me saying that, but it could be completely other reasons which I haven't even thought of. But I think them two are probably the most obvious. Is transaction fees and doxing your real world address.
Yeah, that's a big time. That makes total sense now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, hey man, shout out to you for it sounds like you've been on the grind for a long time, man, as a very young man, dude. So that I think that's what's up, man. I salute that, man.
No,
that's
cheers.
what I love seeing in NFT world and crypto world is, entrepreneurs are like just everywhere, which is it's a real healthy space, to live in, I think. So yeah, props to you as well. Like,
no, I love it. Yeah, and it's coming on shit like this and just connecting with you guys who, 8 months, a year ago, I would never have done something like this, and but now that we're transitioning into NFTs, and it just helps to be more open minded and vocal, and just network with as many people as you can. I mean, in the real world, I wouldn't say I'm shy, but I wouldn't get up on stage and on a microphone, and I wouldn't start a YouTube channel like I have, and I wouldn't fucking jump on a podcast or something like this. So, I appreciate you guys inviting me on, and So I want to know more about your project as well, because obviously, is it base money that you guys are making on Solana? Yeah, what's going on there? Because I don't see much online about it, so I want to know. Shill me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Tim came up with the idea, so Tim, shill this guy.
Well, actually, I was just trying to get Mario into NFTs, because I was just starting to get into them, and it was real exciting. And Mario is like the most creative dude I know, like in music and art and just in life. So we were basically throwing around ideas for some sort of, just like a generative art project, for an NFT collection. And I can't remember now what I was looking at. I was looking at some project, and then it made me think, or I was trying to figure out how to use or how to generate the art. There's a couple software libraries that you can use to generate the art, and I'm a developer as well. And
cool.
And so I'm like, what if we? So this is basically the idea with base money is like, can we apply the same methodology to, of generative art collections to music? So can we have something? Can we put in a bunch of layers of a song and then spit out, a bunch of different versions of that song? And so that's kind of the basic idea, basic idea behind base money.
Basic idea.
So like when you're creating a track, you create the track, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna have 5 different hi-hats or 5 different 808 versions, and then you basically export all those, and I wrote an app the bass printer to print it all out, we can do 100 versions of that song depending, it's just the same as like a Bored Ape where, the more layers you have, the more combinations you can have.
Yeah.
So, Rave Pigs, I didn't even realize that stems were a thing. And so, yeah, things like Rave Pigs are a similar concept. But that's kind of the idea. And
yeah. Oh, sorry, I'll let you finish.
No. Well, yeah, just that now because Mario is so fucking creative, now it's just like ever expanding, like we're just adding all kinds of things to it. But yeah, that was all.
Yeah, I think right now we're working on the folklore of the bass print and the whole shit over the next like 2-3 weeks, man. This whole thing is about to come to life, dude. And it's like we've been just kicking things around and like saying, like we had this closed circuit and everything keeps getting bigger and bigger. And I think we finally have got some tracks together. We got our NFT artwork together, and now the folklore behind the bass printer is coming together, man. And this shit is gonna be cool as fuck, man. And it's like a blended between me and Tim's real life and then like our science fiction life, and like yeah, it's gonna be dope.
So you say that the music's going to be generative, so it's created, I guess, on chain as it's minted. And when you're setting up the parameters for the generation of that, or just purely back to the samples that you're recording, are you recording all the samples at the same BPM in all of the same key, or are you going to set up the parameters so X event equals BPM 61? And then Y event equals combination of only samples in the key of G minor, or how are you setting that up?
I mean, right now we're at the point where we're just gonna have a bunch of mini collections, into one big collection. So like say Mario sends me a beat with, 10 variations of each instrument or whatever. Then have been like fine tuning the amount that can be generated out of that, just like through trial runs or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, right now say we have 808 in our collection, like they're not going to be all the same tempo.
Okay.
And we've also been playing around with like programmatically changing the tempo. But that can go, we haven't really figured out how to make that sound okay. Like if we have something that's 140 BPM and then something that's 80, like to make those meet somewhere might not work. So yeah, right now it's
drugs, lots of drugs.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
I don't know about that.
Send the drugs over the blockchain somehow.
Yeah, I don't think computers take drugs.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask as well? You say Mario, you're an artist. That wall behind you, is that something you've made?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Man.
I was just looking at it, I'm like,
that's how me and Tim got together, man. Yeah, me and Tim got together when we were teenagers, man. Me and Tim used to write on walls a lot, dude. We were really into graffiti, and that's how we got together. And then kind of we had a lot of the same friends, and now we kind of have a lot of the not same friends because interests change over time. But me and Tim's interests have kind of like flowed in the same direction, man. And so it's been cool now that we're like, older now, and we're like, we're still fucking coming back to the well to take. Yeah, man, it's fucking really cool, man.
Well, now it's kind of mixing all of our passions, like you kind of touched on, Rory, is like, like you want to take the things you're interested in and make that your life, And so now, like, we both really like a lot of kind of the ethos behind crypto, but we're also like super into music and art too. So for me, like having Mario involved now in NFTs and NFTs in general have gotten me back into like looking at art, like where I lost that for the past 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't really cared, but now I'm like, no, I like this. You know,
You're a bit of a connoisseur now.
well, maybe.
Yeah.
Wallet doesn't say that, but yeah.
You call that a degenerate connoisseur.
Yeah, the degenerate connoisseur. Yeah. So
Hey,
are you
that's
guys?
what's up, man? Go ahead, Rory.
Are you guys just specifically sticking to Solana then, or are you branching out onto AVAX or Ethereum, Polygon, or what's the plan there as well?
For investing, I have
No. For the NFT project.
Right now, we're thinking Solana for more because it's cheap. Fast. That's our biggest thing, and we're kind of that's about it. But we're not maxis at all. Like it makes sense to drop on something else. In the future. I don't care.
Yeah. If funds are an issue as well, I mean, it's not to say you have to do this, but there's a cool website called is it Via Mirror or XYZ Mirror? I can't remember it properly, but you can write up a full proposal on the website. A very detailed one of what your project's going to include. Maybe link out to some YouTube videos of examples of what you're building or what the final product's going to look like, and essentially you can start a crowdfunding page in the blockchain world, and people can donate to that to help fund. Instead of you possibly, launching it on Solana, and in 10 years from now, Solana's not here. I don't see that happening, but there's a possibility that might happen. You can crowdfund and raise the money now, and then use that. And then not only does that create a community off the bat, but then you also gives you the funds to then, further improve and create a bigger project than you could even imagine.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. It's an idea. It's it's something you can think about. Yeah.
So what makes you? Are you married to Ethereum?
I mean, I like to say no, but I think the answer is yes. I'll be honest. Yeah.
What about L2s? Like, have you
even Polygon? I mean, so the two things which put me off Solana is there's been a few issues lately with Solana actually going offline for sometimes up for 48 hours.
Yep.
That I'm just like, what? Like that is, this is decentralized as we think it is. And then currently as well at the minute is now part of the project was going to be listed on Polygon on Ethereum layer 2 for ourselves. And again, there was maybe 2 weeks ago, there was a new NFT project came out called Sunflower Farmers. I don't know if you've seen this, but inside Sunflower Farmers, you had to, tend to your crops. You then had to pick up a rake. You then had to drive your tractor. I don't know how it worked. You had to make an action for everything that you did. And for some reason,
Gamify or GameFi or whatever or something.
What was that? Sorry.
Is it like DeFi gaming kind of thing?
Yeah, NFT, DeFi gaming. Yeah, a gaming platform for NFTs. So yeah, I think the idea was to grow these sunflowers, but basically the point was that every action that you had to take in the game, for some reason, was at a high gas fee, and then let's say they had a couple thousand users, all minting out constantly, a gas fee. You have to pick up a rake, do this, and essentially it crippled the Polygon network, and then even the Polygon network had to go offline.
Oh, geez.
And yeah, so shit like that. It's like, well, not only go offline, but then the gas fees for all the other users now, instead of it being a couple cents, started to go up to like $1, $2, and shit like that. It's just like I don't think I could trust listing a project on there for the longevity. I want to be on a blockchain where 10, 20 years from now it's still going to be there. Now, okay, it is really fucking expensive to mint a full project on there. It's probably going to cost upwards of $10,000.
Sure.
But if I think it's like a painting. If you truly believe in the art that you're putting out there, you're not going to go to Walmart and buy some shitty bits of paper and do it on that. No, you're going to buy an expensive canvas and the expensive paints to go with that, and really, display and show that you've put value into this project that you've worked on for so long.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. You don't want to undercut your own value, by
and just the longevity. Just the word longevity always comes back to me. But yeah, it's a complicated one because I don't want to be a maxi to anything. I really don't. But I just keep finding myself looking into all these other platforms like Tezos, you know, Polygon and Solana, and I always find problems where I just go like, okay, well, Ethereum layer 1 doesn't have that problem. Why don't I just stick to that? Oh, Ethereum doesn't. You know, it's annoying. Yeah.
Well, hey, man, there's nothing wrong with having preference, man. You know, especially or rational self-interest. You know what I'm saying? It's like you've done the research, you figured out what works best for you, man. And if that's how you're rocking, man, it's like, yo, man, this isn't just. I think Maxi kind of it seems to be like you're just kind of being obtuse, or what's the name for it, man? When you just can't, when you won't change your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Close-minded.
Like, you're saying it's like a bigot. You're like, it's not really that I'm bigoted. It's just that I'm just, you know what I'm saying? This is just I'm just rocking the best over here, man.
Yeah, it's the best for now, you know, until I find something else, if there is something else.
Yeah,
but I mean, just on a side of that, have you looked at Immutable X ever? That seemed like a promising thing. Yeah, check that out. They're an L2 for Ethereum that is based. It's their whole thing is like to launch NFTs, you know, and so that's their main focus. I don't know much beyond that, but
I do know that the Immutable NFTs that have been out lately, or the collaborations have been putting out, are like fucking flying. Like everyone wants to buy them.
I got some really shitty ones a couple months ago.
Like, oh really? Oh man, I seen some guy
or something.
Some guy put on Twitter today. I mean, you know how Twitter is. You can put whatever you want on there. But he picked up some Immutable NFT a couple of weeks ago, and then off the back of that, he then got 3 airdrops in the last couple of days that are now worth like $15,000.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's really flying over there at the minute. Yeah,
that's
nice.
Cool.
So how long have you two been into crypto and NFTs? How long have you been in this world?
Man, I started hearing about crypto, man, and 2010. You know, and fucking, I didn't buy it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I was best friends with like a currency bigot, and he was like, "This is bullshit." You know what I'm saying? This isn't money, man. We need gold. And I was like, "You're right. We need to go back on the gold standard, man. I ain't buying shit." And it's like, here I am, fucking, 12 years later, my broke ass is fucking thinking.
Still,
he's probably got a wallet full of this shit right now.
Or a mountain of gold too from the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
So when did you actually come back around again? And so how many years later was it?
2017, man. 2017 is when I first started buying it, man. I was like, all right, man, this shit is definitely not just a fad. You know what I'm saying? And I was buying Litecoin, I was buying Ethereum, and then and I made a little bit of money, man. And I had sold it right before they crashed, man. And then it crashed, and I was like, I started reading about smart contracts then, and I was like, oh, this shit sounds pretty cool. I didn't really like dive into it though. And then maybe like a year ago, 2 years ago, Tim started talking to me again, and Tim was fucking going hard on it, man. He's like, yo, this is the shit. This is it. Tim's one of the smartest guys I know, man. So I was like, all right, let me start looking at this again, man. And then NFTs happened, and I was like, I can vibe with this, man, because this is dope, man. This is like art and music, and now we're talking about an alternative money system to displace a lot of the shit that I'm not rocking with. So I was like, all right, man. Now I'm vibing. I'm vibing really hard now, man. This is dope.
See, I always thought that cryptocurrencies would take over the world in a financial sense, where the stock market and all financial instruments could be built on top of Ethereum and Bitcoin and whatnot, which I still do believe. But now that NFTs have came around, I'm like, holy shit! Like, I know it's a shit one to bring up, but Gary V. I love the guy to bits, but he's so annoying. But he is right. Everything eventually will become an NFT. Your passport, your driver's license, your credit cards, your marriage certificates, your housing insurance. Anything can just become an NFT. That is probably what is going to swamp the mainstream. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Gary V. That guy's that guy's an animal, dude.
Yeah, he's crazy.
And he says 98% of everything is going to fail too, man. So I think that's a good perspective to or something to keep in mind as you know we go degen and you know what I'm saying, it's like, hey, a lot of this shit is gonna fail. So that's why I'm always like talking to Tim, like, what is the value, man? How do we grade these things and not just like, you know what I'm saying, lose our ass on any type of investment.
That's hard to avoid.
Yeah. So you asked me earlier about like what my main topics or my main focus point is going into an NFT project, if I would buy it or not. What about you guys? What's your top picks? How do you value if an NFT is worth buying or not?
I'm honestly still a little in degen mode where it's mostly monetary reasons. So
yeah,
you know, like I'll paper hand something if I think it's gonna run out, if the money is gonna run out. Like, you know, a big thing going on, and I don't know as much about Ethereum NFTs right now, but a big thing in Solana NFTs is like this passive income stream. So you like buy an NFT, stake it, they create some coin out of it, and then that has some sort of utility, whether it's like a game or not. Or just something, it does something, and then that you can cash that coin in for potentially a stable coin or something, you know, or at least Solana. So yeah, like those. So utility is basically what I'm looking for, because I think that that's the only way right now to kind of that I can feel good about, like that it could bring a profit. Yeah. So I will buy art just for art and not as an investment, but yeah, I'm really looking for that utility to make money on.
Yeah, like true utility or hype utility, because I feel like a lot of these projects probably just hype utility, like we're gonna do this, you're gonna stake this and get that, and everyone just buys in, and then when the floor price starts falling, everyone gets out the fuck out.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. So I guess there's two categories. There's like a short-term utility where you're like, okay, like I hope I can just flip this in time, you know, like I can sell it in time and get out. And then there's things that, you know, there's a short list of things where I'm like, okay, these people are like really building something, you know, that could have true utility, you know, in whatever ecosystem it is that they're building. And I'll hold on to those through rough times, you know.
So is there some NFTs that you've purchased where you are staking the NFTs and receiving money for them? Is that actually happening, or is it? Oh, so it actually is.
Yeah. My favorite one, which I Mario put his kid's college fund into.
What? No, you never.
No.
I ain't sending my kid to college. You fucking crazy?
Yeah, I want some JPEGs.
Yeah, exactly. They just need to learn how to draw. No, my favorite one. They kind of they run a bunch of the hardware. Like I don't know if you know what an RPC server is. It's like infrastructure. No. It's basically like when you connect your wallet, you're not talking directly to the blockchain. You're like talking to these servers that are talking to the blockchain.
Yeah.
And so they already had a bunch of these servers running, and then they wanted to IDO, or they basically wanted to, you know, to create a token so they could, you know, they wanted to raise some capital. And so what they did is they did a mint of an NFT, and it wasn't about the art or anything. It was, you know, it was good art, but they specifically said, this is not for the art. This is to buy a piece of our company, you know? And so they fair launched that. Like they didn't have any VCs or anybody come in at the, you know, beforehand. They didn't take any tokens for their own selves, you know. They bought NFT they bought a few NFTs just like everybody else did. And so their idea is, you've heard of like Filecoin or Arweave. Like their idea is to build a similar solution but on chain, which I don't necessarily understand all the technicals behind that. But they already have a working like they're already doing infrastructure, you know, they already have servers. And so the way they're putting value in, I'm nerding out, so just
No, it's cool. Go deeper.
Yeah, so they're making the coin have value because you have to basically buy this coin to store on there, you know, like the same idea as Filecoin. So you would have to have this coin in order to store on their platform. And so I'm a big believer, partially because that's my most successful NFT purchase. But what they're doing, you know, they just continually like amaze me with how they're how they're setting up their tokenomics, and like how they launched. You know, like this was the fairest launch I've ever seen. But a big thing is, so you stake their NFT and then they just pay you, you know, a certain amount of their coins per day. So a certain amount get minted every day, and then they go to the stakers. So that like stopped people from dumping, you know, like I don't have that many to dump, you know, I've only been staking for a month. And so, yeah, so that's like my favorite project. It's called Genesis Go. And so like I'll hold on to that, even if the value plummets, you know, because I think they have a real long-term vision. You know, so they have, you know, real world assets that they're building too, you know, and they're just kind of, you know, merging the two worlds. I don't know.
So with the coin price of that, obviously it's infinite cap. The coin price, what? How do the?
It's not, because what they do, you can only stake for a year, and so okay. I think they, or you can only get coins by staking for a year. So they have a hard cap.
Oh, so the coins are backed by the NFTs. That's where
exactly.
Okay, yeah, yep. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I think they bought themselves a little time to figure out what they can do after the year passes. You know, like this NFT could potentially just go down in value as the amount of coins get distributed to each of them. But these guys have shown how smart they are. Like they figured out all these cool things to stop pump and dumps, and, you know, stop all kinds of problems that have been plaguing, you know, a lot of these projects. They refuse to list on a central exchange, like a centralized exchange. You know, I was like, damn, that's some pimp shit. Like, to be able to be like, nope, we're not going to do it. You know, we're not going to give away a bunch of coins just to have those people dump on our real base, you know, our real supporters, you know. So yeah. So that was.
I think one of the things that. Oh, go ahead, Tim. Keep going, man.
No. I'm just saying that was the longest answer ever. But
yeah, well, I think one of the things that plagues a lot of the projects is that, you know, you have people with these great ideas, probably really young people who have maybe never ran a business, you know, maybe even never like paid a mortgage or rent or anything like that, but they have these great ideas, and then they get a bunch of cash, and they may not know how to handle their cash very well. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, I just got 50 G's in the bank. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, motherfuckers show up to the club, and you know what I'm saying? He's like spending racks, and then all of a sudden it's like, yo, shit, man, we got to sell another NFT to fucking, you know what I'm saying, to keep the project going. And then it's like, now it become like a Ponzi scheme type of situation, man. And I see that as being being one of the biggest illnesses in a lot of the projects. But with the Genesis Go, like, these guys are rocking in the real world already with hardware. You know what I'm saying? And their business is already rocking. And so I think that that was one of the things that I saw distinguishing them against a lot of the projects. And why I was like, yeah, I definitely want to invest you know, at least one of my kids' college funds in here and see if we can't
Worst
bubble
one.
up.
He's the one that keeps fucking with your mic.
Yeah, God damn it. Hey, I gotta get going though here, guys, man. Rory, I appreciate you, man. Why don't you give us your website, give us your wallet address and the password and all that.
Yeah, my private key. Yeah. No. I think the best way just to keep up to date with us is to just go to our Twitter, which is @BITWAX _. And from there we've got all our like website links and everything built up from there. But Twitter is our most active place, so you guys probably found as well. It all fucking happens on Twitter. I mean, there's a little bit on Instagram, a little bit on TikTok, but it's all about crypto Twitter. That's where it's at. So yeah, if you want to come find out about us, you know, BITWAX _ on Twitter, and yeah, just I don't know. I've never been on. This is my first time on a podcast like this as well. So
you're doing great.
I didn't prepare for a shill or anything like this. I purposely didn't ask you what was going to happen, just because I wanted to kind of see what would happen in the moment, and it's been pretty fucking cool. I'll be honest. I was quite nervous at the start, but we're good. We're all good. Yeah.
No, man, you shilled even though you didn't purposely shill. Like I'm like way. I mean, I was already interested, but yeah, you have some really good ideas, man. Like I really like where how you're thinking of taking this.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I didn't mention it, but I just didn't really highlight it that well. I don't think is like I said, the NFT project split up into two parts, where the first part is going to be this new form of distributed music. So there is a way to do this in the real world currently, where like if you're a DJ who's in the know or a famous person, you get access to these communities where DJs submit their unreleased music and exclusive stems. So now we're creating that for everybody to have the opportunity to buy into. And then the second part, like I say, is going to be the albums and EPs and whatnot. And there was something else I was going to mention, but my mind's gone blank.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. And
hey, no, thank you for coming on, man. And I think that BITWAX is going to provide a essential service to folks in the Web3, because while the decentralization does open up opportunities for artists, it is very difficult to continue doing art and then start to pick up new hats. Like if you're an artist and you're making music, and then all of a sudden you got to be your own bank, and now you got to be your own marketing agency, and now you got to be your own distribution. Is like, well, the art is going to suffer when what I'm saying, we only have so much time in the day. So when I see BITWAX coming in and stepping into that lane and saying, yo, man, we have a vision, and then we got artists on deck, man, and we got the smart contract, guys over here making it happen. It's like, just, on board with us, and let's build this ship together, man. And so that's where I see BITWAX, man. And I salute you for taking the risks and taking that vision, man, and coming on here on the Glockchain and sharing some time with us, man. Let's do this again in a couple months, man. When you guys get the NFT
definitely
popping off, and we'll pop a bottle.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, it's already hard enough for an artist to become established in the Web2 world. So we just want to be there, guys. Already have everything built out, ready for them to go. Just fucking hit the ground running in the Web3 world. Come to us, give us your dance music, house, techno, disco, whatever you've got, and we'll just fucking make magic.
I love it, man. I love it. Cool, man. Well, hey, the best of luck to you guys, man. I'll tap back in with you guys soon.
Yeah, nice meeting you guys.
Peace.
Tim, Mario. See you later.
See you, Roy.